Welcome to the Marketing Happy Hour podcast, where you'll hear career-defining advice, powerful social media strategies, unique creative tips, groundbreaking influencer marketing tactics, and more from marketing experts that represent some of the world's leading brands. So grab a drink and join us for this week's episode.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Marketing Happy Hour. This is our closeout episode of season 2, and I'm super excited to be sitting down with my best friend and co-host, Cassie. How are you, Cassie?
Hi, doing well. How are you? I can't believe we've already made it to the end of another season. It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? I look back and I'm like, oh, we started doing these Marketing Happy Hour Clubhouse sessions April 1st. So the fact that it's the middle of November is just insane to me. I feel like it went by so fast. Even just the year in general, I feel like went by so fast. I don't know how, but I'm glad that we're here. I'm super excited to be doing this podcast with you. I do have one very important question though, and I'm sure you might know what it is. Because we do ask every guest, and even though there's not a guest joining us today, I thought it would be fun to share what we have in our glasses tonight. So Cassie, what is in your glass tonight? This is Marketing Happy Hour after all.
Yes, I have a glass of rosé. You cannot see it, but I'm drinking it out of a glass coffee mug because I have no wine glasses that are clean. So we're making it work, but it's from a little shop here in Lexington called Wine and Market, which I discovered walking around a small little neighborhood here. So it's very good. But what are you drinking tonight? I feel like I might know what you're drinking, but tell me anyways.
I'm sure you do know. I mean, if there was a little poll that we could put up right at this section for people to select A, B, or C, but they would all say A Onda, B Onda, or C Onda. Because I have, this is unsponsored by the way, so we need to figure this out. But in the meantime, I am drinking a lime Onda. It's Shay Mitchell's brand of sparkling tequila, and it is so good. If anyone has listened to this season, I'm pretty sure I say that in every episode except like one. So definitely run to the store and grab one if you have not tried them yet. I don't think you've tried them yet, have you, Kathy?
No, I haven't. I need to go down to Trader Joe's and see if they have them there. But if not, next time I get down to Tampa, I will go to wherever you grab them and I will certainly pick some up because I need to try it.
Yes, always Trader Joe's. That's like my go-to grocery store. And so I was so happy when I found out they were there. So Cassie, let's just get into it. What was your favorite moment from this season 2?
So favorite moment, I would have to say, was learning about the ins and outs of TikTok from Angelica. And the reason being is because I would say that's one platform, which I'm kind of ashamed to say this, but this is one platform I'm not super versed in. I don't spend a ton of time on it. I'm a big consumer of it, but I don't spend time really creating content on there. So anytime a guest comes on that is very versed on the platform and has hundreds of thousands of followers or even a little bit less than that and is able to share a lot of insight to us on what they've done to bring success to themselves or to their clients, that's always very awesome for me because I learned so much, and it's things that I want to take into my business. And also for myself, I want to use TikTok more and I want to use it more for my clients. And so I think that episode really encouraged me to get into it a lot more. But yeah, that was my favorite moment. What about you?
No, that was such a good moment. And Angelica's episode is one that really stands out to me too, because I have been following her for like such a long time, ever since she started posting like day in the life of a Google employee videos on TikTok. So it was really interesting to see kind of like behind the scenes and get to know her a little bit better. It also reminds me of our episode with Carly and Kirsten, our friends that own Millennial Social Media Marketing, who talked all about Reels and how they've seen success with Reels versus TikTok. So both of those back to back would be ones that are great to listen to just to learn about each side, whether it's Reels on Instagram or TikTok. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be Reels on Facebook or something soon. So it's interesting to hear about that in season 3. Who knows? But I think my favorite moment though from this season was getting to talk with Jenny from LinkedIn. I say it in the episode, but LinkedIn is my favorite social media platform. And it's not even the most fun. I just love seeing what everybody's up to. And I think maybe because I'm just nosy and the fact that connecting with someone, it's like reciprocal. So when you connect with someone, they're also connected with you. So they see all of your updates rather than just like following someone, which you can also do on LinkedIn. But I just thought it was so fun to just sit down with Jenny and hear behind the scenes of what she does in her day to day, because I love LinkedIn and I just think that was so cool. So that was
Yes.
my
Yeah. And LinkedIn, a little bit of behind the scenes for listeners out there. LinkedIn has been such a huge tool for us doing outreach for our guests and finding people to have on the show. And, you know, I think people out there could kind of take that into their personal lives too, and their careers, obviously. And just using LinkedIn as a resource for introducing yourself to people, networking. If you're looking for a job, making sure to connect with, you know, hiring managers and stuff like that. So we have found it to be a great tool for connecting with people in the space that we're looking for to be guests. And it's been really successful for us. But, you know, for me, talking with Angelica was definitely a favorite episode of mine overall. But I also just overall loved chatting with Allie during her episode. That was our kickoff episode of the season 2. And we talked a lot about empathy in the workplace and how to kind of apply that to the forefront of your business, and how it's so important nowadays to have that as an essential piece of your company. So I would say that was certainly one of my favorites, and Allie's become a friend over time. And I know you and I got to meet her in person a few weeks ago, which was really exciting. So that was certainly just overall a favorite episode of mine. But did you have a favorite overall as well?
I think that was probably my favorite as well. I mean, obviously Allie's amazing and we loved getting to know her even better over dinner, but I just think it's so important for brands to realize that moving forward, it's no longer about what you sell, it's about who you are. And she did a really good job of kind of breaking that down, making people understand that a CSR strategy, corporate social responsibility, can start internally and within your employees and your team, and then extend outwardly. And so it's more genuine and authentic. And I think that people are really starting to notice that. I mean, we even referenced it in Angelica's episode when we referred back to Allie's episode. We said, you know, Gen Z, that's really what they're paying attention to right now. They're really paying attention to brands that care about them, care about their consumer, care about their employees, which is a huge thing that we're seeing. So that was just like a great, great episode. I love that episode. I think it's one of the ones that's performed best for us too, which is like so cool to see. It just makes me really happy that people are interested in learning more about empathy in the workplace and how you can really bring that into your brand, because honestly, that's what's going to set you apart moving forward. And I just thought that was awesome. So
Yeah.
I would say too that that's probably the one that taught me the most, just because, I mean, we're just like looking towards the future in that whole episode, talking about empathy and how you can display it inwardly first and then outwardly. But what would you say is the one that taught you the most?
Yeah, I think that one essentially was more of a, you know, it's a big reminder because I do think it was one of the top performing episodes for us, just because it's something that anyone at any level in a company can apply to their daily practice, for one. And number two, any industry, any type of business should be having that at the forefront of their company. So it's relevant to everyone. And so for me, it was a reminder to, you know, encourage my clients in the way that we're creating content. Is that kind of being expressed in that content, or the way that we respond to people online? So that was definitely a big teaching moment for me, and just an encourager to have that in my mind when I'm talking to my clients, but also helping my clients talk to their consumers. And then in terms of just an overall episode that taught me a lot. Again, I think I have to go back to Angelica just because TikTok is something that's kind of a question mark for me currently. And I want to learn more, and I know I need to go out there and learn more. I think she shared some really great strategies. And I think a lot of stuff that we apply on Instagram, Facebook, all across the board, a lot of that stuff can be applied to TikTok, but TikTok is such a different world in terms of the people that are on the platform, the types of content that I see blow up on my For You page and stuff like that. So, I think it's definitely something over the next few months, and especially going into the new year, I need to definitely prioritize. And the thing too is what she talked about was just how good the organic reach is right now, and how being present on the platform now is so important. And I actually talked to someone for a season 3 episode yesterday, and she said the same thing. She said, get your username now, even if you're not going to post in this given moment, because there's a lot more eyeballs on the platform than there is, people actually posting. So being on there now, getting your place kind of in the market, and just start thinking about a strategy now while that organic engagement is so good is so important. So I, like I said, loved that episode from Angelica and just learned a lot from her, and also her time in the technology space for her career. It was so inspiring to hear her story and just how successful she is so far, and her career tips were really helpful to me also.
Yeah, and you talked a little bit about like viral TikToks and things like that and how things go viral. And I think Danielle Vito from Avantstay talked a little bit about how her campaigns have gone viral, whether it's the digital duo that they enlisted to go to some of their properties and make content, and that whole campaign of searching for that right pair, that went viral. That got a lot of press. I think we're living in such an age where who even knows what's going to go viral? You know what I mean? Like, it's just so crazy. So I think about that too when you mentioned that. Okay, let's shift a little bit. I want to do some rapid fire questions because we did this in our first ever episode, just like an introduction to your hosts, and then we never touched it again. And I feel like in our episodes, we're really focused on the guests, but I think it would be really great to like immortalize forever some of our favorite things and some of our answers to these rapid fire questions. So I will ask them and then we'll both answer them. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Perfect. Okay. What is your favorite emoji?
Oh, favorite emoji. I'm like, I don't want to cheat by looking at my most used, but I think I use the party. So the little horn, I don't even know what it's called, but the little cone. Yes, the party popper. I use that one all the time. I feel like it's very versatile. It's celebratory. It is excitement all exuded into one emoji. So that's definitely one I probably use quite a bit. How about you?
I use that one all the time. I use it all the time during my 9-to-5 job. So I try not to use it that much and outside of work, but I use the champagne cheers, and that's like pretty much the emoji of marketing happy hour, but I use that all the time. I also love the one that's like giving a hug. It's so cute. I love that one.
Oh, yes. Yes. I know. So this is another one, but I also use the little sparkle one all the time with the 3 little sparkles, just because I'm trying to, especially after working at Disney, I kind of embody that cheesy magic in my life and career. So I feel like I use that one all the time, but yeah, those 2 are definitely go-tos for me.
What is that quote? It's like, leave a little sparkle wherever you go.
Yes.
I don't think that has anything to do with Disney, but it's coming to my mind.
Hashtag magic.
Okay. Another question I have. What is an app that's on your phone you can't live without?
Okay, so I'm going to answer this outside of social media platforms, because if I were to answer it in that way, it would obviously be probably Instagram for me. But outside of that, I would say Slack is a big one right now. So I used to use Slack when I worked full time at a social media agency and hadn't used it for a while. But now with my clients and some of the projects I have going on, I'm on it all the time. So that is just a way for me to kind of organize our different projects we have going on and stuff like that. So that is something I am on constantly on my phone.
Yeah, I don't use Slack that much on my phone. It's mainly on my computer, but that's because I'm like using it every single day. But on my phone, I just was looking, I really don't have that many apps besides social media. And then this shark tracker that I look at a lot.
What?
It's so it like it's by I think it's by like SeaWorld or someone associated with SeaWorld, and they have tags on different sharks. It's like
Yeah.
researchers that have these tags, not just random people on these different sharks, and you can kind of track where they're going, and people can leave comments on
Oh.
them. People are hilarious. They're like, I think there was one named like Bertha, and people were like, yeah, Bertha, you swim that way or whatever. So
Stop.
yeah, I use that one, which is kind of embarrassing, but whatever.
No, I love that. I'm a massive marine life buff. So I'm literally looking it up right now. I see quite a few, but you have to send me the one you use because I will totally
I
download that.
I will.
That is so awesome. Yeah, I'm
They,
kind of a minimalist when it comes to apps. Like my husband has a million pages filled with like games and all this stuff, and it literally drives me crazy looking at it. Like I cannot. So I have folders. I have to have as little apps as possible, but there's certain ones that like friends tell me about. Like you told me about Ibotta, the coupon one,
that's
and I
so
use
good.
that all the time now. Yes, highly recommend. But yeah, I'm very much minimalist. So the fewer the better.
Well, you're gonna have to download Shark Tracker because I'm gonna get everybody on that.
Yes. I love it.
Okay, let's see. I've got like a whole list of these questions, so we're gonna do a couple more.
Fire
Um,
away.
what is your favorite skincare product?
Ooh, favorite skincare product. I am loving Beekman's vitamin C serum right now. I use that. And they also have this moisturizing cream called the Bloom Cream. And so I usually combine those two in the morning and put that on my face. But yeah, I think that's the brand overall that I'm loving right now. But yeah, their vitamin C is amazing. How about you?
So you actually gave me their like cleansing bar, and I use that every single night to cleanse my face. It's just so like refreshing somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And then I think I'm gonna butcher the name because I'm not sure that this is the way that you say it, but necessary. You know that
Oh,
brand?
yes. Yes.
I live and breathe and just die by all of their products, and I love their lotion.
Mm-hmm.
It just like it has like multivitamins in it, I think. So it just like heals anything that you got going on. And it's just so good. It like makes your skin so smooth. So that's like my favorite skincare product.
Yes, I love that brand too. I've only tried your lotion before and I was obsessed, and I still need to buy some for my own, but huge fan.
Yeah, I have a code. I should put it in. I'll put it in the show
Yes.
notes so everyone, if they're listening, and I don't know who's listening to Marketing Happy Hour to get skincare tips, but you are. You came to the right place. I'll put it in the show notes, and you'll be good to go.
Love it.
Okay, another one here. What show are you currently watching on Netflix or Hulu or whatever?
One thing that I am watching, my husband got me into Friday Night Lights. We're going through that season or that show, I should say. So I believe we're on season 3 now, and it is very good. Highly recommend. It's one of those hit early 2000s shows. Some really great cast members in there, but that is a show that I'm really enjoying so far, which I'm not normally a big fan of, like the sports stuff, like the
Yeah.
shows and the movies, but this is really good. So
Okay,
yeah.
speaking of sports shows, have you seen Ted Lasso yet?
No.
Oh my gosh. I'll have to, if you don't have Apple TV, I'm going to give you my login. Am I
Ooh.
allowed to say that publicly? I wonder if I just committed a crime. Whatever.
Uh-oh.
I'll give you my login because it's so good. It's so just like heartwarming, and like everyone I know loves it. Like dudes, my friends, like anyone, like even my like mom and dad love it. It's just so good and so heartwarming. But I'm not currently watching that. I watched that like super quick. But always watching Gilmore Girls. I always just
Mm.
put reruns on whenever I don't know what to watch. What's another one that I watched recently? Oh, Only Murders in the Building. That one was so good.
Yes.
That one
Yes.
was so good. Um,
Yes.
but really that's it. I don't really go through periods where I'm watching like shows. So it was really unique.
Yeah.
I had like back to back, like Only Murders in the Building and Ted Lasso and You. That was
Uh-huh.
like super something that I don't normally do is have like back to back shows that I'm watching. So, okay, next question. How early do you go to sleep? And how early do
Um,
you get up in the morning?
okay, so we have two dogs and we have a puppy who's about 7-ish months old. So he's on a very strict, like when he needs to go to bed versus when he wakes up just with, potty situation. So we will typically take the dogs out at like 11:30ish, take them out the last time and then go to bed right after that. So I'm usually asleep by like 12 and then I'll get up around 7:30. So usually 7-ish hours is like my sweet spot for how much I need. I'm still trying to learn exactly how much sleep I need, and it can be pretty irregular, which I'm not proud of, but I am working on it. So,
Yeah.
what's your schedule like?
Mine depends on whether or not I've been watching TikTok. So
Mm.
if I'm not watching TikTok, I usually am in bed by like, this is so lame, but like 9 o'clock. And I'll like read for a little bit and I'll go to bed at like 10:30. But if I'm watching TikTok, I find myself on there and then I'm up to like 1 a.m. So
Oh my
it
gosh.
varies. But I always wake up at 7, sometimes before, it just depends. But yeah, that's my schedule. Okay,
I
last
love that.
last question. What is a new skill that you would like to learn?
Ooh, new
Other
skill
than
that I'd like to
other than TikTok. Other than
other than TikTok, yes. So, this is so funny. I went through a major surfing phase when I was a kid. I wore nothing but Roxy and like Rip Curl, and I
yes.
literally followed all of the surfers on not even Instagram because that wasn't around, but like just online in general. And so I wanted to be a surfer. I wanted to live in Hawaii, and I just recently went to Hawaii in October, and I really wanted to learn how to surf like officially because I've learned how to surf a little bit, but like I wanted to take real lessons in Hawaii. Didn't get to, long story short, because my husband injured himself and wanted to do it with me and couldn't. Um, but that is something I guess in Florida I could do too on the East Coast. So that is something I've been dying to really like not even master, but just get good at. So I plan to hopefully do that in the next few years.
Yeah, and now that you'll have Shark Tracker on your phone, you'll
Yeah.
know safe places are to
Exactly.
go surfing.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think so. Every single year since I was in like 7th or 8th grade, I've made a list of things I want to accomplish in like the next year on like New Year's. And
Mm-hmm.
every single year, learning to play guitar has been on there, and I've never
Oh.
done it. I've like here and there have learned like a few chords or whatever, but never
Mm-hmm.
sat down to like take actual lessons. And I've had the guitar, I've had an acoustic guitar since I was in like 7th or 8th grade. That's why it's been on my list. Still have not learned it completely. So
Oh my gosh.
hopefully this next year, I'll put it on my 2022 list of what I want to accomplish, and hopefully I will learn. I think I need to commit to like lessons. I need to get somebody
Yeah.
who's like, okay, meet me here at this time, and then I'll actually be forced to go and learn. Because if I just think I'm going to do it myself, I'm not going to do it. So,
Yes. Yes. No, yeah. It's a good skill. I have a guitar too. And fun fact, I took lessons as a kid for 5 years and I dropped it all of a sudden. I told my parents I was too busy, where in fact I was probably like 12 years old and maybe played one sport and did school and that was it. So I wasn't too busy. I just for some reason fell out of it. But now I feel like I have so much more of an appreciation for it. So maybe I'll do that with you. We can get a
yeah,
little duo going. We'll be Allie and AJ, the next
there you
Allie
go.
and AJ.
There
Catch
you
us
go.
on tour.
We'll be on Spotify in more ways than one now. We'll
Oh
be on
my
Spotify
gosh.
on podcasts, and we'll be on Spotify with our whatever our duo's name is going to be, our little band that we
Oh
have.
my gosh, coming soon, TBD. That is
Yeah,
so, I would
it's happening.
die.
Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
gosh, that's so funny.
Well, that was fun. I'm glad that, I mean, like I said, I feel like we are just always so focused on the guests because like we're learning from them and we're like, oh my gosh, tell us more, that we just like never say anything about ourselves. So that was really fun. I think
It was.
we should do that more often, or we'll do it like every closeout episode or something. We'll do something like
Perfect.
that.
Perfect. I love it. Well, so do you have, before we wrap up this episode and officially close out season 2, do you have any specific takeaways just that you figured out over the extent of not even in recording the episodes or from our guests, but just in general in life, career, from our guests, anything, a big takeaway that you took away during this extent of season 2?
Yes, there's a lot, but I do want to circle back to an episode that we did this semester. Um, wow, season. It's fine. We don't have to cut that or anything. And it's the one with Emma where we were talking because it was that week that Instagram and Facebook went dark for like a whole day and everybody was freaking out. All the social media managers were like, what is going on? Are we, is this the end of the world? Which is crazy because it's just social media. But, that's also people's livelihood and totally like a big deal, even though it doesn't seem like it would be. And Emma and I were talking about that because it happened that week, and we've both worked in social media before, and we just like know everybody in social media was freaking out, and we just talked a lot about how you have to be hitting your customers at different touch points, and it can't just be on one social media platform or a couple different social media platforms. Like you have to, and there was this quote a long time ago, I mentioned it in the episode, and I honestly think I heard it from like Jenna Kutcher. I love her. And I don't want to say that she said it, but whatever the quote is, it was like, you don't own your audience. So you want to be sure, like you don't own your audience on social media platforms. Owned by the social media platform. Your whole presence on there is owned by that platform. So you want to be sure that you have a place where people can come together that you own. So whether that's an email list or a community that you have, I think that's one of my biggest takeaways, especially because of what happened during that week, during this season. I think that's my major takeaway, is just remembering the fact that you have to take your audience with you and go beyond just social media.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something good that will be for us to have in the back of our minds too, for even this community, like I know we've been talking about an email list. We've been talking about a few different things, but just making sure we're kind of staying relevant across different areas, just in case something does happen with Instagram. I know we put a lot of effort into Instagram and stuff like that, but I think into the next year, I'm excited to see how we can kind of expand that and, just be available to people everywhere. But my biggest takeaway, I think for me, so for those who don't know, I own a marketing agency. And so we have a bunch of clients that we manage, and I spend a lot of time focusing on my clients and their needs and their content and their strategies and all this stuff. And I don't put a lot of focus, which I should, into my business, marketing my business, running my social media accounts, which for me in the marketing space, it's important to do that because our pages for the business are a reflection of what we can do for clients. And if that's not active and if it's not consistent and we're not putting out quality content, it's not going to be a very good representation. But I think that can kind of go into just life in general and career in general. We spend a lot of time worrying about our tasks at work for our 9-to-5s or, things that other people need, but just focusing on, am I like getting the professional development stuff figured out that I need to do? Like, am I learning actively, or am I just kind of going through the motions and just doing tasks for other people? I think just prioritizing ourselves in what we need to learn and further ourselves in life and our career is so important. And that's not something a lot of people focus on. It's not something I certainly focus on all the time. So, and that also goes into, getting hobbies, learning guitar if you want to, and making time to read and everything. I think that's a big thing I'm going to be focusing on in 2022. So we'll see.
That's awesome. I do have one more question. Because this is coming out like right before Thanksgiving, I just want to hear from you, like, what you're thankful for this year.
Yes.
So much has happened this year.
I know.
Thanksgiving, you literally got married, are moving, like all of this stuff has happened in the past year. What are you thankful for?
So many things. Obviously, I'm thankful for you in this podcast and this opportunity to just do this. I never in a million years thought that we would create something like this. And I remember us just sitting down at Willa's in Tampa and being like, we're going to do this. We're going to start a clubhouse session, like a weekly thing. And it kind of popped off. And then we decided to navigate into this. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. But personally, obviously God, my family, the opportunity to have a home that we're moving into right after Thanksgiving. So there's just so many things I'm grateful for. I think business and life obviously has its ups and downs, but just having those constants with friends and family and God that we can turn to and have in our lives is so important. So those are just a few things I'm thankful for. What are you thankful for?
No, amen to that. Literally everything that you said is like what I'm thankful for: God, family, friends. I think this year I grew a lot into my own too, with just like my career, where I want to be and who I want to help with certain things. So thankful for that. I am very thankful. As of this recording, I haven't met him yet, but I have a nephew now, and my brother and nephew and his fiance, not my nephew's fiance, my brother's fiance, they live in England and they haven't been able to come over here just due to COVID restrictions and things like that. So I will be meeting them as we're recording this. It's on the Sunday after we're recording this. So I will be thankful. I am thankful for my nephew, but I will be even more thankful that I've gotten to meet him by the time that this comes out. I'm just so over the moon excited about that.
Yay.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see photos. I'm so excited. You've been talking about this baby forever and it's going to be so awesome. Yes, we're so thankful for that. Well, I am so thankful as well for this season. And I think we definitely ended it on a high note. We had some amazing speakers this season and just got a lot of great content out there. So we're excited to start working on season 3 and just see, what we can continue to create and provide for everyone out there. And we hope it's been helpful this season.
Yes. Do we want to tease the first guest for next season? I think we should.
Sure. Yes. I actually just recorded with her pretty recently, and her name is Josie Maida, and she literally actually just left her role at Disney to launch her own full-time agency. So she shared a lot about what they were doing with the 50th anniversary at Walt Disney World, what some of their social strategies were. Again, TikTok was a big topic because that is something that she kind of spearheaded within the Walt Disney Company, which was awesome to hear about them and what they were doing there. But just also segueing into, building your own company, trying to build a company while working a 9-to-5 and what that looks like. So I think it's going to be a great topic, and Josie's amazing. So we cannot wait for that.
Incredible. I'm so excited. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Marketing Happy Hour this season. We are really, really grateful for you. And if you do enjoy our podcast, please go subscribe and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. That really helps us figure out what we can do better for you and how we can improve and what guests that we can bring on to really provide value for you. And that's what we're here for. So please do that. Also, please follow us on Instagram at Marketing Happy Hour. That's it. You got anything else?
No, I don't think so. Stay tuned on Instagram. We'll continue to share lots of content with you guys during the season break. And I believe we will see you guys in January with the next season.
Yay! All right.
Yay.
Have a great holiday season. We We love y'all. Thanks so much.
Bye. Like we said in this episode, we are so thankful for each and every one of you for listening and giving your time to supporting Marketing Happy Hour. We are so excited to continue this journey with you guys, bringing you insights and great episodes from amazing speakers from some of the world's leading brands. Prior to season 3, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Marketing Happy Hour. That's at Marketing Happy HR, where we'll share job openings, Instagram and social media tips, and much more for you guys. We cannot wait to be back. Make sure you stay tuned and connect with everyone else across our social media channels. Thanks for listening, guys.